Hey guys, it's Tragos, the lawyer you know, and I just got done with a mediation. We did it by Zoom, so it was all done with the camera set up just like this. I was sitting on this couch. We were able to get the case settled. And I realized after talking to my clients about the case, they had never been in a mediation before and they didn't know what a mediation was all about. So I figured I'd come make a quick video just to talk about what the pros and cons are of mediation and what we actually do there. Some of the questions they had were, can we make decisions, or before we make decisions, can we talk to you about them? Are we going to be able to talk to you throughout it? The way a mediation is set up, all parties, the plaintiff, the defendant, everybody in the lawsuit comes to the table with a mediator. The mediator is not like a judge. They're not somebody that can make decisions or force either party to do something. They're really just there to try to support the cause and keep the ball rolling and provide an objective view that's not biased on either side and can kind of come look at the case and provide fresh eyes. So when the mediation starts, the mediator does something like I'm doing right now and explains the point of mediation. The point of mediation, according to most mediators, is to settle the case for something you know is going to end today. You don't have to go back to court. You don't have to keep litigating the case. They offer a number, you accept it, you shake hands, and the case is over. So the mediator explains that, explain the purpose of doing this outside of court, not risking it on a jury trial, which could be years down the road. So they talk about the risks of going to trial and how you can get rid of all that risk by settling today at mediation. So the mediator does their spiel. Then each side gets a chance to make kind of an opening statement. Plaintiff says something like, I was in a car accident, it was your fault, I got these injuries, I have these medical bills, you need to pay me this money. The defendant says, I didn't cause your injuries, or I didn't cause the accident, or your injuries are only worth this amount. And they make their arguments. They're usually going to be on opposing sides. That's why you have a mediation. You don't settle the case beforehand. After that point, when we all get together, we split out into separate rooms. And for the rest of the mediation, the plaintiff is there with her lawyers, and the defendant is there with his lawyers in separate rooms, and the mediator bounces back and forth. And whatever you tell the mediator and whatever happens in the mediation is confidential. So you go back and forth. You start at 100,000 and they start at 5,000, and you keep working, you end up settling for 50,000 somewhere in the middle. That's how a mediation goes, generally speaking. Two sides in separate rooms with the mediator going back and forth, just trying to work towards settlement. And it's a really great way of what we call in the legal field alternative dispute resolution. It's a great way to do something outside of court. It helps the court system stay unclogged. So things like mediation provide a great atmosphere to try to settle the case if it's able to be settled. And a lot of people don't understand. They think it's going to be like a court proceeding. They think the mediator is going to tell them what they have to do. And it's just not like that. It can be a fun process. It can be a pretty smooth process. You go in there, you don't take offense to anything the other side says. You don't take offense to any offers made. And sometimes you can settle the case like we did today. And it ends up being a great result and everybody's happy because the case is done. It's final. Everybody knows exactly how it's going to happen. We don't have to wait for, COVID to clear or trials to start again. We know the case is done today. The client is happy. The client doesn't have to deal with this anymore. And we all get to move on with our lives. What's great about mediation is it can accomplish some really, really big goals in a case. It can create an opportunity to settle the case. You can avoid a trial. And you can avoid an appeal. So that's why going to mediation, taking that chance to settle a case, can save you a lot of money in the litigation process. You don't have to hire experts or do any more depots or show up to court anymore as a witness in the case or a party in the case. So that can be something that's really important that can be done in a mediation. So I figured I'd drop in right when it's fresh on my mind. We just finished one up today. Talk a little bit about what a mediation is. So hopefully you learned something. If you have any questions for the lawyer you know, you can leave it in the comments or send an email.